Now presenting the Lifetime Achievement Award, final award of the evening. Let's welcome to the stage Southeast paddling icon, Dixie Marie.
Fun. Thank you. It's great to be here tonight and see all of you guys. I had the honor and pleasure of announcing the Canoe and Kayak Lifetime Achievement Award this year. This person could not be more deserving. This year's recipient is someone that has laid the foundation for so many paddlers in the whitewater world, myself and many of us in this room included. His humble and gracious demeanor are reflected in the center he created on the banks of the Nantahala River in North Carolina. This person not only created the NOC, he created a starting point for so many paddlers where you could come to learn, stay on, have a sense of place and a way of life, but also a place that encouraged you to pursue your joy and passion. His incredible vision built the NOC, but he was not so attached to his vision only. He encouraged and welcomed the visions of others, and that made such a special place that is the NOC. I reached out to his grandson that many of you know, Andrew Holcomb, and asked him what he would say tonight or what he would like to convey. And he said, my grandfather the one thing he always allowed was for people to be themselves more than anyone else I know. He encouraged you to grow and evolve. His vision and life's work of NOC have touched not only myself, but so many others that have gone on from NOC to become great athletes, leaders and pioneers in whitewater, boat designers, instructors, and the list goes on. Thank you, Payson, for giving us the NOC, a place that is so incredibly special, and opening the doors to whitewater for so many of us. So it's a great honor that I present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Payson Kennedy. Please give that.
Lifetime Achievement, Payson Kennedy. Forget what you heard about the movie. It was a book that launched Payson Kennedy's whitewater paddling trajectory. Islandia laid out a vision of a backwoods utopia and helped inspire Payson and his wife Aurelia to create a paddling paradise of their own. In 1972, the Kennedys sold their house, cashed out their retirement, and moved with 4 kids to the banks of the Nantahala River in western North Carolina. Through hard work and perseverance and luck, they turned the old Tote and Terry Motel into the nation's biggest outdoor recreation company. The Nantahala Outdoor Center was more than that, though. It became a place where everyone, river rats and Olympians, bus drivers and expedition paddlers, shared a piece of the company and its guiding vision. The idea that work and play don't have to be two different things. And yes, he was in the movie too, running big drops in aluminum camp canoes just as he'd done for years. This time though, the cameras were rolling. Deliverance was nominated for 3 Academy Awards and sent hordes of thrill-seeking tourists to the rivers of southern Appalachia. The people never stopped coming, and Payson never stopped guiding. Now 83, he still pushes rubber about once a week, and still races from time to time. His legacy shows no sign of slowing down either. The people he trained at NOC are prominent in every realm of paddling, from outfitting and manufacturing to cutting-edge expeditions in the Olympic Games. For his enduring contributions to the sport of paddling, we present the 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award to Payson Kennedy.
Thank you. That's a very nice reception. I'm not really much of a public speaker, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of speeches already tonight, but I would like to just reminisce a little bit about this long trip. You know, I started paddling, canoeing before most of you were born, I think. My first went... I couldn't hear that. I first went to a summer camp 1942 and started canoeing. Didn't get on whitewater till about 10 years later when I was a camp counselor. And as I looked at these shows tonight and saw the incredible things that people are paddling today, I couldn't help but think of that first trip. It was a 3-day trip from North Georgia to Atlanta on the Chattahoochee River in wood and canvas canoes. And when one of the canoes hit a rock, we had to stop for the day and unload the canoe, get it dried out and patched before we could continue. And when we wanted to paddle the hardest rapid we encountered, the trip leader wouldn't let us. He said if we damaged that canoe, it would end the trip. So I thought, we were afraid to paddle really hard stuff. You had to be confident you could master a rapid before you would paddle it when the equipment was so easily damaged. And I look at what people are paddling today, what my grandson Andrew paddles, and it just seems incredible at the change that has happened. When I started, the big names, the elders were people like Randy Carter and Ramon Eaton, Fritz Orr, Frank Bell, and they were great paddlers. I thought they were incredibly talented. But today, I look at what people are paddling, and what we did just seems like nothing by comparison. But the other thing I did want to say was that this award really, I feel like, is for the Nantahala Outdoor Center, the NOC, more than for me. And it's just been amazing over the years at how many incredible people have worked there. Our very first year, Jimmy Holcomb came to work with us. He's an incredible guy that's run almost every river in the southeast. When we started running the Chioa, and people thought this was a new river that no one had paddled before, so Jimmy said, "Oh yeah, I remember paddling that 30 years ago when the water was up over the highway." So he's done everything. And fortunately, the next summer, he brought his sister with him, Louise Holcomb, who was on the 72 Olympic team at Augsburg. She brought along a friend, Carrie Ashton, who was also on that 72 Olympic team. And within the next 5 years, we had over half the Olympic team coming to work at the center. A couple of them, like John Holland and Cindy Goodwin, worked just briefly for one summer. But some of them, like Angus Morrison and John Burton, made most of their career at the NOC. Since then, Angus figured up we'd had 23 Olympic paddlers who've worked at the NOC. And this year, Mikkel Smolin is representing us in kayaking in Rio. And he hadn't actually worked at the NOC, but his father's been the coach of the Nantahala Racing Club, sponsored by the NOC, and he's learned to paddle there around the center. So we claim him, and I think he's the 24th paddler, Olympic paddler, who's been associated with this center. So we've had an incredible group of people that have come over the years. People like Kent Ford, Ron Lugbill, Ken Kastorf, Gordon Grant, Les Bechtel. It's just hard to think of all the well-known great paddlers who've been there. And it's amazing how many whitewater companies they've started as people have left the center and gone out. Chris Spelius, I hear he was here yesterday, worked with us, now he's got his own company. Dick Eustace, who started Rios, Honduras. Ken Kastorf with Endless Rivers Adventures. Just a tremendous number of people who've gone out into the industry and done incredible things. so I guess that's what the award really means to me, is that it's a recognition of the incredible group of people that have come together to work at the NOC over the last 45 years. I think some of them must be here tonight, and I think they can be very proud of the role they've played in building this organization. So I thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
All right, and I think that wraps it up for the 2016 Canoe and Kayak Awards. Here's to Canoe and Kayak for throwing an amazing event, hosting these awards. Thanks to all our sponsors. Have an amazing night, everybody. Woo!